you need to start feeling uncomfortable. This is an uncomfortable phase. You have to start to feel vulnerable.
This video has been sponsored by Hafar Deen, the matchmaking website for Muslims serious about getting married. Hafar Deen uses advanced personality matching to help you find your future spouse. Sign up for a free trial today at freetrial.hafardeen.com. With divorce rates in the Muslim community at perhaps an all-time high, it's never been more important to revisit spouse selection. How do we know that we're ready to get married? And how can we rethink the journey of spouse selection? I sat down with Abbas Morali to help me revisit this topic. Abbas is the co-author of From Marriage to Parenthood, The Heavenly Path. Given that marriage is such an important part of our lives, how would we know when we're mentally ready for marriage?
When you start to feel you're not able to take responsibility in some of the key areas of your life. And I always like to break down the word responsibility to really understand this in two words: response and ability. The ability to respond, when you're able to respond to now key life events, where you're now beginning to be able to take control of your own life, where you're able to start having trust in the decisions you're making. Then you know you're starting to leave behind your teenage life, you're young, and you're moving to this new phase of your adult life. Sometimes you have this voice in your mind that's also saying to yourself, you know what, it's time for me to grow up. That voice then emanates into say you now need to start getting your financial income in place. And then the other voice will start that now you need to fill this void up. And that void tends to be this other person you want to share your life with.
Because we live in a society that depicts love, marriage, relationships in culture as almost a fairy tale, how can we rethink the idea of spouse selection?
All of us, when we're growing up, we watch all the movies. I remember when I was growing up, Titanic was one of those movies when I was growing up. And in all those movies, even when you watch Friends or everything, they always just concentrate on that first year or 2 years of marriage when it's just about a couple. When you're starting this journey and you're still at this point, and marriage is this whole journey, to really understand this, I always use one of my favorite phrases to try and understand this question is this one. And it's if you go into a marriage searching for happiness, all you do is you walk out filled with disillusionment. Marriage is incredible, and this is the part of the phrase, but it's not heaven on earth. It's two burdened people coming together to follow God's calling in their lives. Life has some incredible highs. So you get a new job, you go on holidays together, you experience an intimate interaction with each other, a career progression, pay rises, new experiences. But then you recognize the very real lows come into place. So you start having children. Then you realize your children may be diagnosed with an illness or an allergy. Then you recognize you have redundancies, job losses. COVID is a good example of the uncertainties we go through. Then you realize actually marriage is really, really real. And then you realize actually what you really want in a marriage or your spouse is a friend, a close friend, a best friend, a good friend that you have an emotional connection with. And when you have that, if you have an emotional connection with your spouse, and you can only have that if you have a deep friendship with them, then that intimate interaction we always seek out that you see in the movie is far deeper because there's an emotional connection.